Alright, I'm back. I went ahead and finished out the little bit of inking that was left over. I finished out Sarai's spear, which you can see I've inked there. I've also gone ahead and grouped up my layers into folders. So you can see I made an inks folder and a sketches folder. I put all my layers into those, as well as created a colors folder, and from there I'm going to start my flatting. I also dropped in just some reference colors I pulled from the comic from chapter 3. I didn't want to open any spoiling pages for you guys, so I just pulled a little bit of the flats that I've used so I can use those for Sarai here, since he and Silver wear the same color palette. And I'm going to go ahead and jump in here. So, still learning the best way to flatten this program. But let me see if I can get the fill bucket to work for us. Yeah, this is one of the coolest features, is this lasso fill bucket tool, because I can just kind of trace around very loosely, but doesn't always work. So as you can see here, let me see if this will work. Oh, that's okay. I will go ahead and do that. Sometimes I've got to make sure I don't have any little transparencies. Still trying to figure out the best way to what settings I need for my own line art. Everyone's line art's going to be a little bit different, and sometimes I've got openings, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Oops, wrong tool. Yeah. Let me see what happens if I mark this as editing. Like I said, I'm so new to this program. For using it for flats. I used to do all this in Photoshop. And so I'm kind of trying to experiment with what settings I need in Clip to make this go faster. Oh, I also changed his eyes. I made his expression a little bit more manic, I guess, a little bit. He didn't seem angry enough earlier. So, alright. So I still can't figure this out. Why? Sometimes it works perfect, other times it doesn't want to do that. Like right now. Ah, so much to learn. Sometimes it's just as fast to go in real fast. And ink. I was trying to set it as a reference layer. I've seen some artists do that for their flatting, but it doesn't seem to be working for me for whatever reason. So you were hoping to find some cool tips or tricks with Clip's coloring program, I'm probably not the best person to watch, as I'm still learning them myself. My problem is I have a tendency to draw my inks open so that not all of the pathways are closed, and so it makes it hard for me just to use the regular fill bucket. So I usually have a little bit of a bleed over. Good thing is, I think he's gonna be the only character that I color with the local colors, so it's not even letting me do that. That's weird. There we go. I got a setting turned off or something. Okay. Maybe now we are in action here. Yes. Okay. Things are looking up. Here we go. Gonna do this quick fill. I go back in, touch up some of the edges that lose the color fill. Okay. Oh, I think my cat wants in the room. Just a second. Okay, I've let my cat in here. Hopefully he stays out of my way. Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. But he was tearing at the door wanting in. So little furry cuffs, I've almost got to do it by painting it in manually here. It's the way the line's so loose. So this part can go relatively quickly, for the most part. Of course, the more characters there are on a page, the slower it goes, because each character usually has its own set of colors from their outfits. Maybe I should just give everybody matching uniforms, huh? That would make things a lot easier. But not as much fun. So you can see where the transparent pixels for whatever reason. The fill tool does not want to go all the way up to them. If you hear a bell, that is my cat trying to get in my way. Sorry, Finn. Not right now. Oh man, now my cat's licking me. What do you want? Food. That's what you always want. Ba-bum. Okay. So his sleeves here are the same color as the rest of his outfit. Try to use kind of a limited palette with their character design, mostly for the sake of not having to take forever with flatting them. He's gonna take the longest to flat because I'm coloring in all of his details. The girls, I plan on just like I said, I think I'm gonna do their colors a little bit different. I think they're just gonna be kind of a grayish blue in the background. My cat keeps rubbing up against my microphone, which I'm sure is being picked up for all of you to hear. He says hello. Alright, getting there. We are getting there. I'm gonna be real curious to see how long this whole process took. Like I said, I've never actually timed myself. It's probably a lot longer than I think it takes. I think I'm pretty overall happy with this, the composition of this cover page. I think it went pretty well. Okay, he's got, I'm gonna put him all on the same layer. So one of the things I'm I do sometimes is I split the flats up on layers for the characters. For him, I'm gonna go ahead and put the weapon with him on the same layer. Oops. Debating on putting his wings on a different layer though, because I think I'd like to shade them on a separate layer than the rest of his body. I typically use clipping masks whenever it comes to shading, which you will see me do here in Photoshop in just a little bit. But it helps if helps to separate the layers out if I'm wanting to differentiate them easier. It's just a lot easier if I have them on a different layer. And since I am working digitally, that is a positive thing to use layers. It's another tool in the toolbox. Okay, he does have this gem, which is purple. Okay, so cool. I'm gonna save, make sure I don't lose that. I don't need that anymore. I'm gonna go ahead and make a new raster layer, and I'm gonna shade his wings. Actually, I do. No, I'll just pull from here. Oops. Okay, so let me see if it'd be real great if I could do this close and fill. Oops. Worst part is I can't really see where I'm moving my cursor. Didn't work anyway. Okay, never mind that. We will just do it this way. Yeah. Someday I'll know how to use these tools. I will perfect them, and then I'll be that much faster. So I'm still not sure why some of these pixels are being dropped whenever I filled in. Because I know I've got my close to gap, area scaling. Maybe I need to bump my color margin up. Sorry. Sometimes I don't mind coloring with just the stylus because it reminds me of like when I was a child and I colored in coloring books. So it's kind of relaxing sometimes. It's not a bad thing. But it could be tedious too if there's a lot of detail on a page and I can't get the fill buckets to work correctly. let's try bumping this color margin up. Maybe it made a difference. I think some of my lines are just too thin. I think it doesn't like that. Oops, that's not what I wanted. So once I get the flats in, I think that will be good, because that's more tedious than the shading. Like I said, I changed to a slightly different method than what I was doing for coloring my pages. Simplified it a little bit so that I can color them a little bit faster, and I don't think it takes anything away from the final product. Almost done with these wings. Can you imagine if I drew in all the little feathers? Probably would have really messed up my fill bucket. Yeah, the fill bucket tool seems to do better with thicker lines. Does not like my thinner lines here. Oops. Touch that up. Zoom out. Cool. Okay, so got Sarai done. Now I'm going to go ahead and do Clover and Silver in the background. And these I'm really hoping I can just close and fill, because if I can, that's going to save me a lot of time. Yeah. Only thing is it didn't need to do the feathers. Did kind of a similar thing with Chapter 1's cover art, where I had Mari in the foreground, and then all the other characters were kind of this different colors. I kind of liked the look, so that'd be kind of cool to replicate it here. Okay. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Okay, let's see if I am just a little bit more cautious with my lasso tool, if it does any better. Wrong lasso tool. That was my practice run. Okay, let's do it for real this time. Yeah, like, why didn't it do her belly? That doesn't make any sense to me. I cannot figure you out, lasso tool. I'm sure there's a very simple and easy explanation for what I'm doing wrong. But the reality is I am in the the middle of coloring something, so I don't know. Don't know what that is. If someone wants to tell me what I'm doing wrong, please let me know. Oh, come on. Okay, cool. So that's what I'm envisioning, and then girls up front. I'm gonna put on a different layer. And I might tweak these colors when I pull them into Photoshop. Alright. Close, not quite there. I have to clean it up a little bit. Okay. These are thicker lines. I don't know. I don't know the rhyme or reason why some of these fill tools work for me and sometimes I don't. But I am done with my flats, so I'm going to leave the background as it is because I'm not sure what color I want to go for that yet. I'm going to go ahead and pause for just a moment because I'm going to take this into Photoshop and we will finish it out. Alright, hold on just a second.